Well, Wolf, General Fuller's commanders are defending their decision to relieve him of duty, but the fallout in the United States is significant because many people believe what General Fuller was saying was simply the truth about the Afghan government. It's essentially cost Fuller his career.
He's got more than 30 years and several medals to show for his service. He led NATO's training of Afghan forces and oversaw several $1 billion in equipment, supplies, and contracts. But when General Peter Fuller got fed up with Afghan President Hamid Karzai and spoke out about it, he was relieved of duty. It started with Karzai saying his country would side with Pakistan against America in a war.
Pakistan or America ki.
To that, General Fuller told Politico, "Why don't you just poke me in the eye with a needle? You've got to be kidding me. I'm sorry, we just gave you $11.6 billion and now you're telling me I don't really care?"
Fuller went on to say he hopes Afghanistan gets a future president who's more articulate, and he called his Afghan counterparts delusional about American aid. Within hours, Fuller was gone.
General John Allen, NATO's commander in Afghanistan, issued a statement calling the remarks inappropriate, unfortunate, not indicative of America's relationship with the Afghan government. Others don't see it that way.
What this guy did was speak the truth about a problem that you've got to believe everybody in that command, from the commanding general on down, knows to be true.
Conservative analyst Frank Gaffney says there's rot in the highest reaches of the Afghan government, and American troops and their allies are losing their lives trying to prop it up. We couldn't immediately reach NATO commanders for response to that, and we were not successful in reaching General Fuller. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said this about Karzai's remarks.
That it was, both taken out of context and misunderstood.
Clinton says U.S. officials believe Karzai was simply talking about the long history of cooperation between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Tony Schaefer, a retired U.S. Army colonel who served 2 combat tours in Afghanistan, sides with General Fuller, thinks his firing was inappropriate. But in a broader context,
don't American commanders have to hold some of this stuff in when they're working with these leaders on the front lines?
It's very clear that there are situations where a commander, sitting commander in the field as a general officer, has to be very careful regarding how he uses information relating to the relationships of the host nation.
Schaefer says General Fuller probably knew that what he said would get him relieved, but Schaefer says he believes Fuller saw a clear conflict between the guidance he was given and the reality he was facing. And at that point, he may not have cared about getting his 3rd star, Wolf.
And he had one other specific example of the Afghani government being delusional.
He told Politico that the Afghan government made requests to him for F-16 fighter jets and for tanks, even without the budget to use or maintain them. And General Fuller said a senior person in the Afghan government told him, "All I want to do is put them on a flatbed truck and drive them around in a parade." I think with remarks like that, he pretty much was fed up with the Afghan
government. I wrote about this on my blog this week, and I recommended that General Allen, who's a very honorable U.S. military officer, do the right thing and say, you know what, I made a mistake. General Fuller deserves a second chance. But that's just me.